Hey, everybody. Welcome to Keeping It 100. I'm your girl, Miss Ursula, and I got Tobias in the building tonight and Mr. Houston
Yeah.
Hines. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
Yeah.
What's happening?
What's going on?
What
Can't
kind of
complain.
foolishness are we going to get into tonight?
It's gonna be something interesting, I guess. I guess it's gonna be interesting. You tell us.
Well, we're going to wait and see. Well, before we get started, what you guys got going on? Houston?
Me, Dak. I have finally caught up on a few projects I was trying to work on. So I got that taken care of out of the way. Last week I was in bed probably 3 days. I don't know what it was. It wasn't flu, cold, or anything. It just felt terrible. Other than that, I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Trying to figure out what the next step is. We're gonna keep the studio, or we're gonna try to find a new location, more in Raleigh. We're gonna figure that out.
Yeah, we're gonna get it moving, get it popping.
Yeah.
What about you, Tobias? What you got going on?
Just enjoying life as usual, doing what I do and having a good time doing it.
All right. Well, and congratulations on Tough Talk.
Thank you. Thank
There you
you.
go.
Also, Houston, amazing job with your interview last night. I know, we talked offline about it, but it was a great interview.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I got to get some sweatshirts from them now. I got to get some clothing.
Right? Now, me, okay, of course, everybody know, they might not know, but I injured my back, re-injured my back. So I haven't been doing a lot of walking, a lot of traveling, but I'm out of work right now, just trying to get my back together. But I've been doing a lot of home projects because sitting home, you sitting at the house all day, you're going to drive you crazy.
Yep.
So, and my daughter tell you, you leave me at the house by myself, you come home, something going to be tore up when you get back. It's going to be a hole in the wall. It's going to be the carpet gone. It's going to be something. So I ended up taking my whole door off yesterday and repainted it and put new hardware up there. And, I got other stuff coming in. Amazon, and they loving me right now because I had all my stuff delivered. Trying to just do something to the house. So, but anyway, I love remodeling. I love DIY stuff.
But see, you in your back, Bob, you supposed to be sitting down somewhere.
Well, I am sitting down. I sit down and do everything.
I got you.
When it comes to lifting something, that's when I call somebody.
I got you. I got you.
We ain't trying to go to the hospital.
I'll tell you what. Let me say this: while we're still grinding away, in our group, Keep It 100, I am going to paste the link so we can share with everyone. Oh Lord, if it does it right, so we can try to share it with everybody, and that way they can kind of join in the conversation if they want to. I just posted on my page. So if I did post it on my page, you guys might can share that link to your page from there. That might be easier.
Let me see. I'm actually on your page now, and I am sharing it to my page.
Your page and shared it to
Keep It 100. I thought I was. Hold on.
Because I thought I had it set up where it went to all the pages, but it ain't. Don't like it's doing. So we're gonna figure that out.
We're gonna work it out. Let me see.
And Tobias, you as well, if you can.
Oh, I got it.
Got it.
It's like it's a little delayed, but it's up there.
Gotcha.
Okay. So the show tonight, we're gonna talk about this first 11 days in office.
Woo. 11 days, or it feels like 100 days.
It feel like we almost in June, July.
This is true.
I'm not. Look, I'm enjoying getting older, but when I say I can't wait for these 4 years to be gone,
yeah.
No, I'm not rushing anything, but
just the way, just the kind of way he's moving right now makes it a little suspect.
Yeah. I think,
to be honest with you, I was kind of on the hopeful side as far as like, well, maybe he might fool everybody. Maybe he's gonna do some things differently. I'm just saying. Everybody always say I have a bad habit of saying the glass is half full instead of that glass got a hole in it.
Yeah.
Right now this glass has got a hole in it. Anybody that comes in to do all the stuff that they're doing right now, is doing way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think right now with so much going on and you're
Mhm.
trying to do so many things at one time, this country, of course, was not built in a day.
Right. Right.
You know, you're not gonna, but now it can be destroyed in a few days if you ain't careful.
Right. Right.
And I think with all of the things that he's doing, it's more of a showmanship,
Right.
more of an ego stroke than what's good for us.
Right.
So, and of course, you like a lot of things when you build up something too fast, it can implode on you. And I think I'm praying that does not happen, but reality is reality.
I
And
know.
the only thing I can do in the midst of everything in this country that's going on is making sure that me and mine
Mm-hmm.
are taken care of and are prepared.
I got you.
So
I got
that's
you.
all I can do.
Welcome
So,
aboard, EJ.
What's going on,
hey,
people?
hey,
How y'all doing?
I'm
We're doing
good. How
good.
you
We're
doing?
doing good.
Hey, I'm like
So,
everybody else. I'm just trying to cover me and make sure I'm good for the next four because I don't see this getting any better for anybody. For
Now,
real.
come on. Now, Eric, now I already know. You can go and admit to us. We know that's your dog. You know
You
you
know,
voted
you.
for him 7 times.
I promised I would do better with my language, and you, my boy, I care about you. So I'm not going to speak in my normal, but nah, not at all. I just say that nah.
I understand.
As
I
a
understand.
matter of fact, it's interesting that a lot of my coworkers were actually trying to find, I guess, excuses for
Right.
voting for him,
Right.
and
The
I'm
way
like,
that they
you don't.
voted.
Yeah, it's like you don't. Or, well, even this was even before the election. It's
Right.
like I already know how you gonna vote. You don't have to pre-justify your choice to me.
Right.
Why you felt the need to do that, it just tells me everything I need to know about you.
Right.
And
Right.
I asked, I'm like, I don't even understand. Because I asked, honestly, I was like, well, why are you voting for him? What has he said or done that would make anybody want to vote for him? Other than you are just a racist and you want to hurt people that you don't like, and he's the instrument you're trying to use to get that done.
plain and
He
simple.
gave you a 4 year. He gave you a 4 year preview.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you. It ain't like nobody knew what kind of president he was going to be. He gave you 4 years before this term even started. And I ask people now, what is he doing any different this four than he did in the last four?
All right. Tobias, what you think? Because I've got my opinion too. So, I like playing devil's advocate. I'm going to play that at the end. But what you think?
I think a lot of it's in the food and with what you eat, and it's really screwing with people's heads on a regular basis. You know, it really cracks me up how you have women that voted for him.
Yeah.
When you talk to the women, you would think that since they have to go into the voting booth by themselves, and knowing what type of person he is and what he said he wants to do to you guys, you could vote despite if your husband is a pro Trumpster or whatever, or super duper Republican, you can hurry up and put your vote in. But that's not what happened.
Right.
Um,
Right.
you had a lot of women that were like, when I say a lot of women, I'm talking about one woman too many. If it was just one woman that voted for the stuff that he was saying, it she doesn't realize it was against her.
Yeah.
And I was out there at the voting when I went to voting in one of the reddest um, racist towns in the county that I grew up in. It was a black female out there, and she was the loudest talking person out there. This is a black woman. She out there with her chair, with her red Republican chair, her red MAGA hat on, and her Republican gear on, and walking around with tracts, trying to give them the people, saying Jesus first, God this, and all that, and you know, we can't have that woman in office. We need to have Trump in office. God bless. I mean, this was a black woman, okay, who was about the same age as close to the same age as my mother. So yeah, it's probably in the food.
But look,
let me just say this before you go. Houston. I apologize.
sure. No, you good.
God has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on with our political system and this election that just passed. If God had a hand in this, then clearly we are doing something wrong, and He's punishing us.
That part.
Yeah.
So, and
That
I know I have my mess ups, but nothing that deserves this. We and God got to have a talk. I'm
Well,
willing to lean towards the
You
food
know, I
because
think
something has to
every
explain. People, am I crazy or is he? Does he have the mindset of like a spoiled 12-year-old? Am I the only one that sees that?
nope.
no.
Nope.
Oh, so I know I'm not crazy because I'm not the only one. So, like he just said, how can women of all people? How could you vote for this man? And he's telling you he's gonna set it up so you have to have babies. You have to. If you get raped, don't matter. Incest, who cares? You gonna have that baby.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
But
that's like
Eric,
somebody.
I'll
Go
say
ahead.
I'll say what you just said about you gonna have this baby.
Uh huh.
He's talking about we, us. Because if one of those illegal immigrants was to happen to rape his daughter,
Oh yeah, I mean, there's
as
definitely a backdoor
her
abortion clinic that's
daughter,
gonna get.
she
Yeah.
would not have that baby.
Oh no, no, no. Like I
So
said, there's definitely gonna be a exclusive backdoor abortion clinic
exactly,
for all
exactly.
their teenage daughters, and they're gonna have that. That we're
Those
gonna.
rules
Yeah, you're
apply
right.
for us.
We, the working and poor. Well, not us per se, because they want our kids gone. Those white women, they're the ones they're really talking about. Because when you look at
Exactly.
it,
Exactly. So it's
they're
not a
members.
we. You
No,
said it
it's
in
a
a
them.
nutshell. You
Yeah,
said in
that's
a
for them.
nutshell, it's not a we or us and everything, because you got to remember, you know, we're still not considered a part of this American thing. So
No.
you go back to the back day, you go back to the old days, when we asked back in the 60s and 70s for the money that was owed for free for education in our neighborhoods, for hospitals in our neighborhoods, you know, whatever the case may be, jobs for us to help, you know, um, take care of take care of our neighborhoods, our community. The only thing that the only thing that the government gave us was abortion clinics. So it's not a we thing. It's a them thing. They'll do it for them and everything.
Yeah.
The problem is that, again, we need to do what we're supposed to do, and we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. We keep saying,
No.
"Oh yeah, I'm gonna do for me and I'm gonna do for mine," but you're not, because you basically just you're still doing what they are doing, but you're just voicing that. It takes action, effort.
No.
You know, but that's
Yeah.
that's how I
Well,
I
see it.
mean,
let me say this. Let me say this real quick, Eric, because both of y'all touched
go
on
ahead.
something I was gonna play devil's advocate with. One thing is this: we have a bad habit in our community of talking about what we're gonna do
Mhm.
and not do it.
Exactly.
Now, one thing I'll look at it, I'm gonna try to. I'm looking at the time, so I just kind of get 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna stop. You know how we go back and forth. We're trying to work on that, so I'm gonna try to work on it too. But here's my thing: we can't expect somebody to do something for us we're not doing for ourselves.
Right.
That
That's
part.
the main thing. We got to stop looking for anybody else to do something for us, and we got to stop fussing about it and throwing a fit. And don't get me wrong, boycotts work, and then we're gonna go boycott something. But then 2 weeks later, I see folks right back in the same store.
Yeah.
Once everything calmed down and tell me, okay, well, they arrested that guy, I can go back in here. No, we don't need to go back in here. We just need to find out where else we can get it, have it on our own, because then we can come to the table. And then when things are equal, they don't mind working with you. But when somebody's got an upper hand on you, why do I want to pick you up and take you somewhere when I don't get any benefit from doing that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's personal survival. Right now in my mind, I think what the problem came into play is with all the illegals come over. I heard this about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. White guy told me I used to work with. He said, if they don't stop the illegals, what we've been talking about in our hunting club, when we go hunting, and we ain't even talking, he said, Houston, we ain't even talking about just black folks. We just talking about this country. People are coming into this country. They're coming illegally. They getting help. And then they kind of starting their own business. And now they can vote. And before too long, it might be my great grandson, but then we don't have any control in the country anymore because we're outnumbered. So if we got to figure out how to stop that right now. This is basically what this is. They're looking down the road that if they don't stop the immigrants from coming in, the country is going to be ran by someone else besides what they already to make America great again.
Well, see that right there, you just touched on it, and it's the same playbook that the white woman used against the black woman with the feminist movement and the women's right movement. That's not our issue. That's their issue, but they want to use us for the numbers to get their agenda pushed out
Yes.
there and maintain their control. Now, going back to what you were saying about us doing business or us boycotting, yeah, boycotting takes, like anything else, and true change, it takes sacrifice. And black people have been socially and mentally manipulated to the point where they're dependent on the system, whether they recognize it or not. They don't want to be inconvenienced. They don't want to make the sacrifices. Our family from the 30s, 40s, 50s, the 60s, and 70s, they understood, yeah, it's going to take sacrifice because they worked together. They came out of that where you had your all black town and they did business amongst each other. And that was with them. Once
Right.
integration actually happened, everybody was, oh, wow, we get to go where they go and do what they do somewhat. You know what I'm saying? And our generation on up, well, not ours. I think we were last to that to really have some of that. The kids from the 60s and 70s that were raised.
Right.
But
Mhm.
the kids now, that's like, oh, people forget we've only had civil rights for 60 years.
Right.
We came out of Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? So the learning curve for us is, I think we're real hard on ourselves. It's only been 60 years. We're gonna have them mess up. But we definitely need to, like we used to do, pull together. We had
Right.
thriving black towns. We had thriving black communities that they came in and destroyed for that very reason,
Right.
to
Right.
make us and keep us dependent on them.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So
Right.
for us, that's why I say we judge it that we got to do for ourselves. We've been doing for ourselves. That's the
Right.
lie they told us.
Right.
That's the lie they gave us, and we ran with it. We've been doing for ourselves. You can go to the five Great Lakes. Under every one of them lakes is a black town. Every one of them that they burned and buried the people, and they
Mm-hmm.
never talk about
And that's not the
it. The
history
Gullah
they
War.
trying to bring up. You
Lake
know,
No,
that's
Lanier
that's
is
what I'm
one
saying.
of them.
That's why they're,
Lake
yeah.
Lake
I mean,
Lanier is
the,
one of
so
them. Yep.
it wasn't just destroying Black Wall Street, which was a huge blow, but they
right.
stole money from us coming out of the Reconstruction. They just took the money, just took it.
Right.
So all this pull yourself up by your bootstraps and I can't cut. That's bull. That's bull. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Well, and we have to. That's why black people have to really go back and understand the history and undo the lies that were given to us. and that we perpetuated to our kids.
Right.
No, we were never lazy. We were never we weren't cool with being, oh, one day the Lord. No, there were a lot more to that Turners than they talk about.
Right. That's
Yeah.
true. That's
There
true.
was way more. But see, they don't want you to get that fire in you. And they definitely don't want you to give it to your kids.
Right.
Because if you do that, you know what I'm saying? Now we as black folks, yeah, boycott all them people that donated to Trump, all those stores, those big vendor stores, boycott them. If we supposedly have $4 trillion worth of spending power, if you shut that off, some people gonna cry.
Right.
And they want their money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Now,
that's the biggest fear they have, that we actually start doing business with the smaller black-owned companies.
right.
That's their fear.
What
Well,
we
see,
about
I
to say?
think the issue, and I was all for it. The boycotting, I was all for it. I think since like in the year, I can count on one hand how many times I've been in Walmart. I don't even go in there anymore. And ever since all the DEI stuff happened, I think I've been in there once. But I think that, and I was, like I said, I was 100% for it. And then, you know, I was listening to Yvette Nicole Brown about how a lot of these stores carry black brands.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And so,
but
I'm gonna say, if you're gonna go in those stores, if you're gonna buy in those stores, buy the black brands. Find an alternative for it. Because I don't want to see someone like I think it's not Kinky Curls or Mixed Chicks, or it's a black brand of hair care products.
Okay.
And they've made millions on their product, but their product is carried only in certain stores.
Right.
And if we don't buy those products, then that black owned business is going to go under.
Right.
So, I mean, it's like being on a double-edged sword. I truly want to, because the Montgomery bus boycott showed us what black money can do. Withholding our
I think part of that, not to cut you off, I apologize.
Yeah.
Part of that is I recently heard where Target was glad they did that with the DEI, so they can move those black-owned brands out of their stores and they don't have to carry them.
Yeah.
So, and I think if those black businesses like that are smart enough, they'll go to an internet business where you can go directly to them and order. So that's how they can, you know, I'm just saying that it's a market move for them. Yeah. I mean, I get wanting to watch out for them, but hey, it's your business. You got to be business savvy yourself and understand if that's the game they're gonna play. Because the only reason why they grabbed you and had you in the store is because they wanted to get those black dollars. So if they're glad to keep up with the inclusion, the appearance of inclusion. So the minute they strip those rights away, you like, okay, well, cool, we can push them out. We don't have to have them in our store. All right, cool. I ain't got to come to your store. I have no problem spending my money with people that will respect me and treat me with the service I feel I deserve. So I have no problem. I dropped my Sam's Club membership. I don't really deal with Walmart like that anyway. So I don't trust their food, by the way. And so I have no problem cutting Walmart loose. I'm not a big retail shopper like that anyway. I do most of my shopping online. And I've taken time now to start looking for those mom and pop black owned businesses to spend the bulk of my money with them.
And I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
It's just gonna take work on our part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's not an overnight process.
Oh, no, definitely not. None of this is gonna be overnight. None of it.
Yeah, these companies are
No,
not going to
no.
be able to say they're not going to have the revenue or the backing to say I'm going to go online and then mass produce, these products without the backing that they have right now. I get what you're saying, and I totally agree. Move it to the internet, but until they're able to do that sufficiently, I mean, they got to do what they got to do.
Right.
Well,
Well, that's
that is not that their business is and how they're doing. Obviously, they don't. If they cared about, you know, the masses, our people, and I'm talking about our people that are selling these items in there. If they even had an inkling of caring about their own people, well, then they wouldn't be in there to begin with. And so they don't really care. So why should you care?
Who
Why
does
should
care?
you go and buy their
Who you talking
product?
about?
Let me finish.
Who
Okay.
you talking about?
Why should you care? The businesses that you're talking about, well, I'm not going to boycott them. And if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying boycott. If we boycott, it's a double-edged sword because then those black businesses are hurt and everything. And I'm talking about specifically them. It's
Okay.
not. It's not our problem. They put their business in Walmart, who supports Trump, and they still want it there. So obviously they don't care. But those businesses that are sitting out here like at flea markets, the mom and pops organization on the internet, those are who we should support, and we should continue to boycott Walmart. I don't care what black business has their product in Walmart or any other company that protects or backs up Trump. We shouldn't worry about them. Maybe if they start seeing their money go down, then they'll start putting their stuff in flea markets or starting their own nickels,
brick and
or
mortar.
building up. You know what I'm saying? They'll start seeing that and then they'll come over. But until they wake up, don't support them. That's like supporting a family member that's a crack addict. Do you? I don't. There's no need to support someone that's going to continue to rob you and your family and hurt you, that is blood related, who don't care about you.
Okay, so let me say this. Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
Trump, is that me? Okay. Trump just ran
That was
for
me.
office. So that's all good. So 8 years ago, there's not a problem with them being in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
9 years ago, it wasn't a problem. It's just become a problem now. So these folks got contracts. That's the problem. They can't just pull out. They had to go get $250,000 worth of loans to get their product produced so they can try to put it in stores where we shop. They were trying to put their products where we shop. That's why they put it in Walmart. That's why it was in Targets. That's why it was in whatever store they could get into, because that's where we're spending our dollars. And that's where everybody wants to be. You want to be in a big retail store to make more money. And then eventually, hopefully, you can move it and do it to your own. But you can't say I'm not. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't say, well, no, they shouldn't put it in there. That's where they want to be. That's where we all thrive to be, is be in somewhere big that it can be seen so we can grow.
And that is our mistake.
Can I add?
Regardless of that is our mistake. No, regardless of where you're saying, well, this is the money that we want to make by being into their system. Why didn't you start your own system in the begin with? And you could have. So I still don't have any. I don't
But
feel sorry for them.
how are they going to start their own system if they needed capital? You got to get a loan, and
$4 trillion.
huh?
$4 trillion spending. The majority of the money that most companies and business or anybody get comes from, in this country, comes from blacks. We spend the most money.
But
We don't put nothing back. I'm just saying, we don't put nothing back into our community. Not $1. $1 will
Bingo.
go faster than a minute or less in the black community. So
I am not
therefore, when you
disagreeing with
say,
that.
so of course you disagree with that. But what I'm
I said
saying is
I
it's
said
a
I
fact.
don't. No, I said I
Oh,
don't
I
disagree
thought
with
you
that.
said you disagree with that. But
No,
my point is My point is that we spend the money to get things that we don't even need and everything. So I don't feel sorry again for those individuals that have these contracts with them. They knew what they were getting into. They're business savvy people, so they knew what was going on before they even got there. That what of course they're going to vote, and I bet you anything they voted for Trump. They voted for Trump so that they can get what they get and get you to change your mind and think this way. Whereas, oh, let me feel sorry for these guys that they needed the money to start this thing and whatnot. I get that, but maybe they did that to psychologically mess with you. Remember, there is a class on business psychology, and it works on the masses.
Okay,
Well,
I think you skipped over what Houston said,
No, I
whereas
didn't.
this was not an issue 5,
No, I
10
didn't.
years ago.
No, I didn't. I
The
didn't.
whole
I didn't. No,
the whole
it's been like that.
DEI
It's been like that for more than
controversy
10 years
just
ago.
started.
Right.
It
But it's been like
just
that for more
started.
than 10 years.
well, no, I see both. Look, here's the deal. I see both ends of it. We
Mhm.
have to work with it. We have to work within the system until we can work outside of the system.
Exactly.
We've got to
What do
get
you mean?
products.
Example.
Huh? An
Example.
example?
When you say we have to work within the have to work within the system, explain.
Yeah. Because if you're in this country, you're gonna have to work within the system until you find a way to get out of the system. You got to work with what you have and then get out of the system. What we did not do is, like you said, it's only been 60 years.
Mm.
And it took about 35, 40 years of that for us to realize, okay, this ain't gonna work. Because
we've always known.
It's been
We've
more than
always
60
known.
years.
We've just never leveraged the power. No, I'm saying it's been 60 years since we've had the rights to move around and
In
be in
their
these
circle.
areas. Yeah, in their circle.
In
We've
their circle.
always had our own system. And
Right.
actually,
Well,
what they don't talk about, going back to Martin Luther King,
mhm.
he realized how he played his people and himself.
and that's
And he even said it in one of his
that's
speeches. He said,
the
"I
biggest
feared
mistake.
I led my people
Right.
into a burning house." And he was actually going to go back and say, "Nah, we don't want equal rights, or we don't want that. But nah, give us the money, give us the reparations that you
Right.
owe us,
Right.
because
So
then
I'm
we
not
can build our
disagreeing.
home."
Right. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
disagreeing.
get what you're saying. And
Yeah. Hold
I
on a
got a
second.
question about that.
Yeah.
sure,
So you're saying that he he was gonna say, well, no, just keep the equal rights and give us the reparations.
no, not
They
keep,
wouldn't.
not keep the equal rights. He was, because I mean,
No,
honestly,
I said you said that you don't want it.
immigrant.
You don't want
No,
it.
not
Just
not.
give us
But that's me.
the
That's
money.
me. Yeah, that's me saying my words. He's saying he recognized that giving us the rights doesn't
Well,
fix our
but the
problem.
question is, we can't even get reparations now. So how would that even have been an option?
Because we didn't fight for it then, when everybody was in lockstep, everybody was boycotting,
Right.
everybody was shutting
Okay,
down white owned businesses
so
because we weren't dealing with them. If we
make
had
it
asked for our money then, asked
make
for
it
it
make
then.
sense, because we had to fight tooth and nail to get equal rights. But you're saying that
But that's
fighting
my
to
whole
get
point. Were they
reparations would
equal?
have been easier.
No, I'm not saying any of it would be easier. Hell, I was a kid. I'm 2 years from Jim Crow.
We
Right.
don't even have equal
We are
rights
two, three
now.
years outside of Jim Crow ourselves.
We know that.
So I can't say what it would be. All I'm saying is he understood that it wasn't about the right. Because guess what? They gave you the right to go into white owned stores. They gave you the right to go into white owned spaces, schools, all of that. Did it change the mindset of the people that were already there? Did any of
No.
those people get fired or removed from office?
Who is
So
this guy? I love
just
him.
But I
Thank
got
just
a
you.
because
question.
you say,
I have a
no, I'm
question
saying
for
just
you.
because. Okay, sure.
If with all that you're saying about
Mhm.
the Jim Crow and all these things, to me, I think it does a disservice to the people who were back in that time to say now, with the mindset that we have now, what they should have done back then, because we
I
were
can't.
not back.
Okay, wait a minute.
No. I'm
Can I
not. I'm
answer
not
that?
saying what they
Can,
should have done. I'm not saying what they should have done. I'm saying he recognized what he did
Right.
wasn't enough. It
Right.
wasn't enough just to have the right to go and intermingle with them.
Let me jump
They
in.
owe us money, and with that money, if they had given us the money,
Jump in.
we could have rebuilt our own infrastructure. That does not. We don't need them. That's the truth of
We
it. Is
don't.
all we don't need them.
And let me
That's what
tell
I'm
you,
saying. So if they gave us, no, I'm
Thank
just saying, if
you.
they gave us the money that they owed us for
if,
building this country or our
if,
ancestors, no, yes, if everything's an if until it becomes reality. But the
exactly.
fact of the matter is, if he had focused on getting reparations and less on getting us the right to mingle in their schools, we could have had the money to build our own school system. We would have had
Right.
the money to build our own towns back. We would
Yeah.
have had the money to
I
build our own
totally agree.
business. We wouldn't have needed them for anything. And just like they did back then, they would have came to our side of town looking for us. Everybody glosses over the fact that Oklahoma City was a town full of millionaires.
Yep.
Yes.
They were all, everybody in the town
And
was not one or two people. Understand what's going on. Not one or two people, not three or four people. Every person in that town was rich. They didn't want black people. Why? Because we were thriving. We had our own economic system outside of theirs.
Right.
We didn't need them for anything.
and
All
what
right. Hold
happened?
Now
on.
imagine that one
And
city.
what
That
happened?
one city turns into a state.
All right.
That
Hold
state
tight.
turns into another state.
Hold on, Eric. Hold on. Hold that thought. Good thought, though.
But the
Go ahead.
government is ours.
And what happened?
Of course, history tells you what happened.
Women's
They came and
rights.
destroyed it,
You know
and
what happened?
then the white woman,
Religion.
came and told black women that they were oppressed by the black man. How
Yeah.
how a person being oppressed just like you oppressing you?
Exactly.
Wait a minute. But
And
wait,
that's
that's
the
a whole
trick
different.
that y'all.
That's a different chapter.
No,
That's a
it's
different
all
chapter.
linked
It's
together,
all the
and it's
Yeah.
all part
same.
of the psychology.
No, no,
It's
no, no,
all
no. We
part of
don't
the
do
Let
that.
same
me do
thought.
this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Like you said, it is all wrapped together because then you just open
Yes.
another can of worms. But
Exactly.
to stick to this point, because we're gonna keep this in mind. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in our notes that we can come back to that. Because everything you're saying makes sense and it is true.
Yeah.
Ursula, were you about to say something? I'm gonna say something, but I'm gonna let you go if you need to.
My point was, you made a very good argument. Had we did this, had we did that, we already had a whole city full of millionaires, and how everything was going. And had we
Yeah,
did
that
this,
wasn't the
what
only city, by
now?
the way.
Oh,
But
wait, but now what happened to that city? And that's what I mean about saying, well, if black people had done, if black people would have thought about da 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 da, it's very easy. Hindsight is 2020.
yes, it is, and I was just about to say that. And when I'm speaking now, yeah, we could see the mistakes made and the flaws. But
Exactly.
you
That's
got to
all I was.
understand too. Those were peace loving people minding their own business. They weren't messing with them. So why would you think they'd want to mess with you? You don't know that over there they looking at everything you're coming up with, everything you're doing, how you're prospering, and they over there struggling. And the jealousy and the hatred that's building in them, which you already know is there, which is why you don't mess with them in the first place. So
Exactly.
now all I got to do is tell a lie and spark your people to come into our town with your guns, which we ain't expecting that, which we already have mentally ingrained in our head. Can't hurt the white man. Can't touch the white man because if you do that, he's going to do just what they did, or based on a lie, come and burn and kill everybody indiscriminately, knowing that the law is going to protect them and vilify you. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
They were doing their thing, as a town thriving, doing what towns do. They had it going on,
Yeah.
and yeah, like I said, Martin Luther King was focused on, or whatever coalition that made him the front man, they were all focused on being able to go into the towns that were better than theirs on the face of it, because they had the nicer schools, nice clean streets, nice stores. Hey, they kept you on the poor side of town. They kept you economically broken and beaten down, especially after anything you had that was worthwhile, they took it and stole it, or they burnt it to the ground to keep you from coming up. So yeah, if we integrate with them, they ain't gonna burn their own stuff down.
So let me say this, Ursula,
If you go to the school,
right, and let me say this, Ursula. Um, I see, me, I'm always seeing both sides of it.
Mhm.
I think what happened at the end, and I've got to do some research, and I'll do it by next week so we can talk about it.
Mhm.
From my understanding, people were saying that were close to Martin Luther King that he was already telling them, I've been going about this the wrong way.
Mhm.
He said, you know what? The equality, he said, the equality that I want is the equality that whatever we build, they can't come over here and destroy it.
The economic equality.
If we want to have our houses and our communities and thrive and make money, we need to have equal rights. That this land is my land. I get to do what I want to do with it, and can't nobody come take it. That's the equal, that he was really shooting for. At the end, he realized that the only way we can do that is financially. So as soon as they said that, he started talking about financially, we need to start doing this with our money. That's what got him killed. It wasn't when freedom reigned that every little boy and girl come together. It was a financial.
I wasn't arguing that point. I wasn't arguing that point. I was saying, and going back to what Tobias was saying, when a person has a business, and I know, in your world, you think it's all supposed to be A, B, C, and D, but that's not how life works when you're talking about if I'm starting a business. If I don't have the capital of my own, because let me tell you about, and you talking about Black people, you're not going to invest in my business. You're not going to invest in my business. He's not going to invest in my business because we have the mindset of, well, I'm going to keep what I got for myself to make sure that I'm good. I'm not going to invest in anybody else. So in order for anybody to have had a successful business, they had to go outside of their community to get a loan to be able to either do a brick and mortar building or get mass production for their products. So
now,
and
Tobias,
I don't care about their contract.
Hold on.
I should be able to retort.
Yeah. I mean, no doubt. I want you to retort. The thing of it is this, Ursula, exactly what you're saying is true, but here's the deal. When Eric was talking a few minutes ago, and Eric, let me know if I'm wrong, because I could be, when he said we could have done this, we could have done that, and you're saying, well, we're trying to blame what they did in the past. If we don't look at the past and change it now to do something different, right, and do something different, then it's going to keep doing that circle. So now that we know, look, hey, the people that have their stuff in Walmart and the whole nine, okay, let's see if we can get you out of there. We know that you got a 4-year contract. We know that you can't just pull your stuff out. Now, it's a bottom line. If we do the research and look at it, the only reason I feel like they did the inclusion and everything is because it was money involved. And once they got the money, once they got us in the stores, they were thinking that, hey, now Black people are going to come in here and really start buying this stuff up. And we didn't. We went to Walmart, picked up the same stuff we always picked up. And we might pick up a jar of it because we saw a commercial, and we're just going to support them that week and maybe a couple of weeks. But it didn't sustain itself.
So I mean, what he said about what Tobias said about about their contracts, that's their fault. I mean,
that's his opinion, though. I don't believe in that myself.
That's not the issue. Just became an issue just now. It was not an issue before, but to each his own.
Right.
But I don't see any Black people saying, you know what? Let's help them get out of Walmart. Let's help them get out of Target. Do a GoFundMe and give them enough money to buy out their contract, and then help them mass produce. Nobody's gonna do that.
Why do that? You keep your stuff in those spaces because that's your contract. Your contract says keep it, but you go some other venue and you give them. You give your people other venues to buy your product.
Right.
You ain't got to just sell your stuff exclusively to Walmart or Target.
Right.
It's your stuff. You can go to, like he said, you can open a flea market and put your product in a flea market if it comes to that. Black people are conditioned to operate in the system.
That's true.
You were raised in the system. Yes. So that's mentally, you're already there. Just like you said about starting a business, you automatically assume. No. Listen. Let me, because my brother owns a business. I've helped a few people start their own business. I even had my own business for a hot. So I get it. You're automatically trained, even from high school on up. You're automatically trained. Get your credit right. Go to the bank. Ask for a business loan. Fill out this paperwork. Do this. Do this. That's the system they want to keep you in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you automatically default to those things when you're trying to start a business. You automatically assume you're not going to invest in my business. You're not going to invest in my business. Most of us don't have the money to invest because they keep us at an economic stance where you just have enough to pay your bills and survive. So you
Exactly.
can't, but that's what I'm saying. It ain't that they don't want to, they can't. Because
So
if black people were
what
making
we
the money, I'm just
said,
saying.
But here's the catch with that.
Uh
But here's the catch with
huh.
that. That same money, that same billions or $4 billion a year that black people are spending, we could have
Trillionaires.
been doing with that.
thank you,
But
thank
we
you.
use it, but we use it on
But that
everything else.
that
Everything
We
yes,
use
else.
it on everything else
yes. But
besides our
that's the again that
That's what I'm
that
saying.
defaults back to the
So
conditioning.
right.
Yeah, and it is what Tobias is saying. But it defaults back to the conditioning
That's true.
of the people.
Right.
Just
I
like
got
Yes.
a
you said,
question
folks
for
go into
you.
Walmart and they still buy the same stuff they've been buying.
So I
Right.
got a question for
Why?
you, Eric.
Because that's what they've been conditioned to do. You
How
Yep.
have
many?
to you can't expect someone that has 30 something, 40 something years of conditioning to change or break it in 3 or 4 days or 3 or 4 months even.
Right. Right.
It's years of conditioning. And
Well,
Years.
it takes a mental, yeah. I mean, it's years of, I mean, years, decades of conditioning.
go ahead,
Yeah.
And you
Ursula.
have to make a conscious effort to break the conditioning.
Hold on, E. Hold on,
And
E. Go
once,
ahead, Ursula. Go
So I
ahead,
got a
Ursula.
question. So you said you've helped people start businesses, whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Have you ever seen a contract where that person signs a contract with the company and they're only allowed to sell their product in that store?
Um,
That happens. And
That
Walmart
Yes.
it
happens.
happens, yeah.
and Walmart
But
is
see, that's
paying.
So
the exclusivity. That's the exclusivity contract. And
Right.
like Tobias said, you make the choice to say, yeah, I'll only exclusively sell my product with you. You
and
do
if
that.
no other stores,
If you, but I'm saying if you take that power out of your hand, that's on you. Ain't no
Yep.
way in hell
true.
I sign this. I don't care how much money you're offering me.
But my question is this:
I'm just.
you're saying
Mhm.
you're talking about somebody who's at a startup, and you're like, okay, we'll sell it in these mom and pop stores, who we both
Uh-huh.
know can't handle the volume, who are not accessible to the masses of people.
But see,
Can I say
that's you
something?
So now,
rather than
I,
you're
slowly
not
bubbling
making
up
a
and building
profit.
a business.
Beep. Hold on,
What
can I
hold
they?
on,
say
hold
something?
on, hold on. Tobias, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead, sir. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes. Yeah, and it all goes back to what you said when I said I look at it as ABC, as simple as that. It is simple, Ursula. It's very simple to do. I started a lawn mowing business with my younger brother when I was 12. Okay. We used our money to buy the gas. Paid the old lady to drive us to the place with the lawnmowers. We cut the grass. There was no contract. The guys told us to come over there Fridays and Saturdays. We did one guy on Friday, one guy on Saturday, and that's how we started making our money. Now, what you do with your money and your profit, that's where it comes down to, and how you protect your business, and then it grows. It's just like a plant. It's just like children. It grows. Now mom and pops, like you said, they may not have the money, or you say the volume, they can't handle the volume. That's when they do this thing called grow. Find a new location. They build up instead of going out and buying that Tesla or buying that nice, beautiful $100,000, $400,000, $500,000 house, or those nice clothes, or that cruise ship and everything that they want to do. And what's more important? Grow your business if it's important, and get those
Well, I think that's
black.
something that we're learning now, and you know, I totally agree. That I think that's something that we're starting to realize we've got to do things differently. That was the whole point.
That
We've
was the
got to
whole
do things
point.
differently. You know, we got to do
There's
things
another.
now,
I mean,
and people have, but we, like you said, one, we've been conditioned a certain way, so we got to try to look at things
it's not
differently.
even. Well, that too. But another thing is, people don't want to grind.
That's right.
To
They don't
grind
want to
for this.
grind.
Everybody wants instant gratification. They want to blow up, like you said,
Yes.
jump straight to the Walmarts and to the Targets and those big box stores to get their money and
Yep.
shine and buy all that stuff that Tobias was just talking about. It's very few people that understand if you have a quality product that does what it's supposed to do, people will find you.
Yeah.
The customers will find you and ask for it. That creates a demand. Once the people see your demand, you're the business, you're the product.
Grow.
Those people that have the money to help you grow your business, they're going to come to you because they want to be a part of your business. Dave Chappelle is one of my biggest heroes out there because when they dogged him out and called him everything but a child of God, he understood he's the product,
Right.
Yep.
he's the talent. He
Mm-hmm.
stayed grinding. It took him 10 years. Now you don't have the heights of the heights, and you
Hmm.
got knocked all the way down to you a crackhead and you crazy. And
Right.
he grind for 10 years back where he started.
Right.
When everybody kept seeing how he's selling out all these shows, then Netflix comes to him. Hey,
Okay.
we'll give you $20 million. So I'm saying that's the blueprint. With you can take comedy out of it, you can take his and put hair care products.
Yeah.
I
Any
got
little
one.
gap, it's the same thing.
But yeah,
I got.
but
I,
But
tell me
nobody want to grind for it.
how much was David Chappelle worth when he left?
It doesn't matter what he was
doesn't
worth when he
matter.
left. He gave back 50 million. He
If
gave
you
back 50
gave back
million.
50 million, I bet you he didn't have just 50 million.
Hey, wait. Can I
It
can I say
doesn't.
something real quick? Okay,
Which
let me give
goes
you some
back to you're telling
Ursula.
people to
Let me
to
give you
let
No,
other
he didn't.
examples. Can I give you some examples since you asked the question? Okay. There are other examples other than what he's using,
go
such
ahead.
as in the black community. I'll use two in the black community: uh, the Silvas, the Jacksons. Let's go to other cultures: Japanese, Chinese,
That's what I was going to mention.
Mexicans.
That's what I
So
was going to
there's
mention.
no excuse for
Who's
where we're
making
at. We can say
excuses?
all day long this, but every time you bring up certain things that you say, it's like, well, why didn't, or how, it's like there's no excuse for it. We can build starting today, right now. But it's going to take grinding. It's going to take work, sweat,
So
blood, tears,
I got a question.
and the verbal and the words, the words for the university that I graduated from was re non verba, okay, which is words, deeds, not words.
All
So I
right,
got a
Ursula.
question for you.
Okay.
We're talking about and my whole argument was about the people affected right now by their products being in these stores that we
Right.
want to
Right.
boycott. That was my whole
Right.
issue.
Right.
And you said it was their fault.
Yeah.
It's their contract. You don't feel
Yeah.
sorry for them. So I got a
No.
question. That's their
Mhm.
livelihood. That's how they make money. That's how they support their family. So you tell me right now, what should they do?
No,
Quick
what they
question.
should do is find a way out. That's their business, not mine. They join a
But
platform
you just
that
said
is that they
inclusivity.
join. Golly, Ursula, they joined a platform, okay, that does not care about me, you, or these other two gentlemen up here. So that's their problem, not mine. My thing is to leave Walmart. Now, if those nice people that you think are nice that have their business there at Walmart are in such trouble and they happen to sell a product that I want to use at the local flea market here in Fayetteville, I'll go over there and I'll buy it if I can use it. But if I don't need it and I'm not gonna do it, that's the whole point of free marketing. I'm not gonna go use it. So that's not
Quick
my
question.
problem. What they need to do is find a way out of that. When they find a way out of that, because usually if we help them get out of that, who's to say that 10 years from now or the next generation or whoever they decide to go right back into the same people that did us wrong, which we have seen over and over and over again since the day I was born.
All right, Eric, what were you about to say?
Um,
Because
This
then I'll
back
say
to the
something.
whole. So you, because I want to see. I just want to make sure I'm understanding what she was saying. You're saying that because they've already had money, it was easy to walk away and go back to doing nightclubs. Is that what you're saying, or is that what you were saying, Ursula?
About David, she's about
what
David
I
Chappelle.
was what I was saying was, if you are a successful comedian and you have that wealth, and there is something that you disagree with, and you decide to completely walk away, you have the means to walk away and not be affected. Give them their money back. I don't need it.
Okay.
You
But
have
it doesn't.
that option.
Okay.
But it doesn't. But it really
Now,
doesn't
now,
work.
now, hold up, you just a second. So let me ask you: those same people that have their product in Walmart and Target or wherever, they don't have wealth built up already, where they can just
They may
walk
not.
away and
They
how's
may
that?
not be able
Their
to walk
product's been in
away.
there for years, and they got how can they not be able to walk away?
You're
They
trying
got
to tell
money.
me that every
They're
product that
selling the products have been.
So
go
let me
ahead.
It's
say,
in Walmart. We know Walmart is all around the world, just like black people. It is disingenuous to assume that they're still struggling on some level if
No, it's
they're in
not.
a major retail market. No,
No,
yes,
it's
it
but
is. It
if
is. It is disingenuous to think that they're struggling financially
well,
if they
no,
have their product, and it's not like it was just
have,
got into Walmart.
have you
no.
ever
Here's the
seen a
deal. Now,
product
with,
go
It's
with
clear?
thousands of people shop in Walmart every
I
day.
don't mean they find every
The
product that's
product
in
is
there.
in Walmart not because it's not selling. The thousands of Walmarts around the world, thousands of people going into each Walmart every day, mainly black and brown people. So if anybody is most likely to have their product being sold and moving are those people because we love doing our hair and we love looking fly. So I'm just saying that's not fair to say, well, they got to keep it in it because they might be struggling financially. No,
You know
you
why?
well,
probably got
Let
more
me
money
tell
than
you know
Dave
why.
has when he
hold on.
turned.
Let me say
When,
this.
I'm
Let me
just
say
saying,
this.
if
Hold
nothing
on.
else, isn't it not
Hold on,
reasonable
Eric.
to assume?
Well, we can't really. I mean, you can say that, but here's the deal. A lot of the cases, what's happening is, like you said, there's a contract. I might decide, yeah, I want to pull my stuff out of Walmart, but according to the contract, I need to do it this way because legally they're gonna tie you up in court and bankrupt you if you do it a different way because there's a contract. That's one. Two, just because it's in the store does not mean that people are coming in and buying my products. Now, the reason why they're about to start taking the black products out of these stores is because they're not selling. Some of them are, but some of them just aren't selling to the
They're
level
not
that
selling because people are boycotting, and they can use that. Well, we have this standard of sales, and they're not meeting it.
People just
So
started
yeah, now
boycotting.
we can
no,
yank
no,
this
no,
stuff
no,
out
no.
because
They won't
they
find it.
wanted to
They
get
won't
rid.
find
They,
it.
because they moved the DEI protections in the first place, and we didn't want these black folks in here anyway. But we had it in here because it served a purpose, kept the government off our asses because it looked like we were being inclusive, and we weren't
They didn't.
creating
Well,
this
I'm gonna tell you
exclusive
what, Eric.
market.
In my mind,
No, I'm just
I
saying.
don't think
I'm
they
just saying.
didn't.
This is. Uh,
No, I'm gonna say this. I
no,
don't
I'm
think
not
they
saying
mind.
whether they did
They
whether they
mind it being in the store as long as making money. If it ain't making money, they want it out.
right.
They don't
It's
want
not
to sell
making
the
money
stuff.
now because people are
No,
boycotting. If people
they
weren't
just started that.
boycotting,
They just started
Do
that.
you know why? Do you know why
Yeah, they just
there's
started
right?
very few? Do you know why
So
there's
if
very
that's the
few?
case, then they would have. Then why wait till now to say you're taking the stuff out of the store?
because it won't sell it.
Why wait till? No, I'm saying why wait till now to say that or do that when the DEI protections have
Because it
been
was an
removed?
obligation that they had as far as keeping it in the
No,
stores to make sure they
I,
met that quota. I
Exactly.
guarantee you
Now,
that's
but
what it
if the
was.
product's not
you
selling,
know why
if a product's not selling, I imagine as you being a retail chain, you have the right to pull that product off your shelves because it's not selling. Take the loss,
And they do.
write it
And they
off,
do.
and move
mhm.
on and get something else.
And they
So,
do.
like I said, you can't on one hand say, well, this guy or these people have money, and so it doesn't matter what they did, and. But on the
Well,
other
then
hand, oh, well,
that's a
these
different
people are
story.
struggling. They're stuff. You can't. It might not be selling in Greenville. It might not be selling in Greenville. It might not be selling in Fayetteville. It might not be selling wherever. But that product is selling somewhere because
Eric,
it's in that store.
do you know why there's very few Black-owned beauty supply stores?
Because
Because
the other races are smart.
market,
They
and
understood
it's
the
very,
grind.
very
They knew where
hard
the
for
market
Black
was.
folks to break into
No.
that market.
Let me give you an
Let me say,
example.
I haven't said
Exactly,
anything in a
and they
minute.
knew
I've
who they were
listened.
pimping their stuff
Let
to.
I've
me
listened.
Yes,
Now,
I have a cousin in Connecticut. She's been fighting for years to open a beauty supply store.
hey, you know what? There was a woman in Greenville back in the 80s. She sold, she was the first one selling hair extension and wigs because, Ethiopians up north were doing extensions. So she got the idea that maybe this stuff would happen in Pitt County. So what she did was she opened up a store over there by the, for those of you that
Yeah,
know
braids and
Greenville,
whatnot.
yeah, she should open up a store over there at the corner by Fleming Street, down the street from Sadie Salter.
Lady Solid
Uh,
School. Yeah.
yeah, right beside Sad's shoe store. If you remember where Sad's shoe store was, she
Right.
opened up a place right there on the corner and sold hair products. Well, guess who clicked on to that, and they had a bigger store, bigger platform. They just over there by New York Fashions over
All right.
there at the
I
Five
know what
Points.
you're talking about.
Jean's Glory. The Korean lady came up in there and she opened up a store because she saw the market. The Bangladeshi guys saw the market for down here because we didn't have a real a New York fashion type store. So he opened up that place over there at the corner across from where Cubby's was. Meanwhile, the lady who started the hair stuff and started the market, well, she couldn't grow any further than what she didn't grow any further than what she did. She couldn't grow any further. They held the market, so she moved on and
Do
everything.
you know
And
why?
that's what happens to. That's
So okay,
usually
so
what
let
what
me tell you
happens.
why. Okay,
Okay.
because an Asian or any other nationality, when they go and buy these hair care products, when they go and get these weaves and all of the different shampoos, conditioners, all those beauty supplies, they get them at a specific rate. When a Black person goes to buy them, it's a 20 to 25% markup. So, in order for me to be able to even make a profit, my price is going to be a lot higher than what their prices are because they get it for a cheaper price than I do. So
How do you
so
how
Black
do you know?
Yeah, that's
who's
yeah,
gonna
that's just true facts. I mean that is true.
who's gonna pay for,
That's true.
let's just say
Yeah.
shampoo? Who's gonna pay
No, we're agreeing with
$25
you.
for
We're agreeing with
shampoo?
you.
Huh?
Ursula, I'm saying we agree. I
I
always
told you I
agree.
had a cousin that tried to open
No,
a
I'm
beauty
telling
supply
you,
Yeah,
shop, and
because
she went through the same thing. She went through the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing, and she told
We agree
everything
with
you're
you on
saying
that.
is the stuff
But
that
let
she
me
was telling me when she was trying to open her beauty supply
that's what
shop.
I'm saying. When he
They
said she didn't
they
grow,
have a
when he said she didn't grow, that's why she didn't grow, because they were getting their supplies at a much cheaper
they
rate
priced her
than what
well,
she
let's say this.
was.
they
Let
priced
me
her
And
say
out
then
of the
this.
too,
market.
Well, let me
and
say
then
this
too, it
though.
depends on where they
Now,
got it.
here's the
Where they got it
difference.
from.
Here's the problem. The problem is this, and this is going back to how Ursula was saying earlier. How we gonna get on these folks about this? Yeah, she might have had it a little cheaper over here. The Chinese lady or the Indian lady, whoever, she had it cheaper.
Uh-huh.
We chose to go over there and buy it for a cheaper price.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
didn't support our community and go, look, hey, I'm gonna go buy it from Miss Jean because I know Miss Jean, the hair might be $12 at Miss Jean and it's only $8 over here, but I'm gonna support Miss Jean because this woman is trying to run her out of business. We don't look at it like that. We're gonna go where it's the cheapest. That's why we keep going back to Walmart. That's why we'll spend the Section 8 money, the money that we work for, all that stuff in these stores. Basically, what we're saying is a little bit of the same. We're getting in a different way. If we support our own community, grow our own stuff, spend our money in our own circle, we can finally grow. But we can't do that because we don't keep our money in our community. We're the only community that I read, and I was like, I had to read it twice. If we get in our Black community, if we get $500 before the weekend is out, $450 of that money is going out of the community.
I just said that.
That's what I
They
just
said
said.
that. They said that.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying.
Nobody
Yeah.
argued. Nobody argued that point. Nobody was arguing about that point.
But
But what
yeah,
I'm saying
all
is this: until we learn to stop doing that, because I live in a nice community here that I have a lot of Indians that live around me, and
it's all right.
great people. Shut up, fool. It's great people. They're great people. I love them. We get along great. But one thing I have noticed, if they need to get something done, they're going to go through their Rolodex and find out who in their community that does it first. In our community, what we do is we're going to go through Yellow Pages and find out who we can go get to go do it for us before we check in our own community. Because if we can grow our own community, then we can work with other people.
Wait, it gets better. Hey, wait, it gets better.
The other option to that is not only do we go through the Yellow Pages, but we call our people, and then you got our people who do a substandard job.
See, now that is true, but we stereotyping, but it's true.
It does happen. Hey, no, you know what? I'm gonna let her.
That also happens in other communities too.
Tobias, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let her have that because she's calling it as it is and everything, right. And I'm not gonna dispute that.
And that's why I said that.
However, let me throw this in here. One of the main products that are sold, matter of fact, the biggest product that is sold at Walmart that is under this umbrella that has a contract is a place called Soul Tanicals. Okay, I looked her up. Her name is the lady that owns it. Her name is Ayo Ogun. Okay, she's Nigerian, okay. American. She is rich. She is a true African American. Okay, yeah, she's not Black American. She didn't come over here transatlantic slave. So she had money in to begin with. In fact, she got so much money, she does something that I still say that we should do, which is she homeschools. So she's training her kids how to. There's no, she's not going to fall down and listen to the fact that folks are saying, hey, look, well, we should still shop there and to help them out and everything. She's not going for that. She's going to sit back and smile and says, yeah, I know, let's keep it real. And the psychology of it is, yeah, you want to come in here and you're using that to say, okay, I'm going to come in there and help out my business. I hope you do buy my product. But let's keep it real. You only want to come in here because there are other products in here in Walmart that you want to buy, and you want to sneak around and get that, and then, but then say, oh, I came in here to help these people out. Come on. This woman is rich, buku rich, and she doesn't care. Now, she can get out of this situation if she wants to, if she really wants to. My point is boycott Walmart. And then go and buy your other products somewhere else. You can do this. Go to the flea market.
I think that's what we need to work on. Yes, is doing that. But we've got to play. But here's the thing: in our community, I don't know if it's true what I'm about to say, but one thing I've noticed: other people can have disagreements and not like each other, and then they come to a slight agreement, and then they start doing business together. In our community, when we get into an argument or disagreement, we ain't gonna talk to each other no more. We ain't gonna do business with nobody no more. We done.
Yep.
That's the biggest mistake in our community. I have no problem with that lady having her stuff in Walmart. And if she's rich like that, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep my stuff in Walmart, but let me figure out another way to keep things moving over here. They're gonna keep her product in Walmart because she's selling like crazy. What we're talking about is the small person that's only got maybe $400,000 and $300,000 of it is in supplies sitting in Walmart. He can't just pull out. That's what I'm saying. He can't just pull out. So he's got to find another way. He probably want to and would love to, but he can't do it tomorrow. So we got to figure out how to work around that system to do something better for ourselves is all I'm saying.
Well, this is a free, but this is the United States. This is the United States. This is not any other country. We are a capitalist country. That's how we have gotten ahead. That's how like I said earlier, that's how Chinatown came about. I mean, that's how Koreatown has come about. Japantown, all these towns come out. They started out small. Yeah, they worked together and everything to get things going. But we don't, like you said, we don't do that. We have arguments and stuff, and then family members and stuff don't want to talk. Why? Because they don't want to agree with something, agree with each other, because we've been conditioned to look at that. It starts with you, the individual, that says, I'm not going to do that. Take example with us. We all come together because each individual here on this platform have a difference of opinion on a lot of stuff. I mean, like, I'm an atheist, but nobody said, "Oh, I'm gonna hate Maurice or Tobias because he's an atheist and everything." I still come on the platform and I say what I say. You say what you say. Ursula says the stuff that she says, and so on and so forth. But it does. But we are, as an individual, a little more enlightened to the point where, like, but we're not going to diss each other. We're still going to help each other grow. That is why I like these platforms, so that other people can watch this and say,
Right.
you know what? I can learn from that. Now, these folks get at each other's throat. They ain't a white person on that show. But these two go at each other's throats, but they come back together to what? Teach everyone out here.
I got you. And let me say this, and then before Eric, hold that thought. The reason why I'm gonna say that is because we're at 1 hour and 11 minutes, and we had 6 topics, and we didn't get past the first one.
That's how it is.
So let me say this.
That's because it's complicated. Everything is complicated. It's not a ABC answer.
Yeah, it's not.
Because everything y'all were just talking about, even in the last few minutes, it all goes back to the psychology of the people.
It's all
in
psychology,
and how we've all been trained to
what we're gonna do,
go to the easiest route.
Yeah. Right. So let's do this. Do this. We're not sure when. We know we definitely want to do another show, hopefully sometime this weekend. Take another hour, but we'll try to figure out how to get that in. Ursula, this is your show. I'm gonna let you get the last word, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Well, I will say this. One, we didn't get past topic number 1.
How many topics did y'all have?
We have outside of the no, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was 6. We didn't get past boycott.
Wow.
Executive order was another one. The block exchange, federal jobs.
Y'all pick topics that could be a series. Y'all can pick hit them and quit it. Y'all pick
you know what?
Topics that could be a series.
We have these topics. We know exactly what we're going to talk about next, so that works.
Yeah. Well, I will say this, and even though we approach things differently, we have different mindsets. The common goal, I think, of especially people that come on this show, is Black unity, Black prosperity. Teaching, reaching our Black community. So, and I'm all about that. I love my Black community, even with its flaws, even with the things that I know are wrong. We, what I'm saying, we still embrace, our heritage. We embrace, our upbringings of how we were raised in the Black community. Some bad, some good, but in the end, we want to make it better.
Right.
That's the goal, is to make it better. And as they say, that's keeping it 100. I think that's our goal.
All right.
Okay. But I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. As always, much love, Maurice. Thank you, Eric, for joining. I really appreciate it.
Thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
Man with the plan. So, you always keep it moving. So I appreciate it. Our next show, y'all tune in. If y'all watching online, we're going to do Keeping It 100 After Dark. And you already know that's going to be some hot mess right there. We're going to keep it pushing.
And so Eric, I've got an Eric and Ursula. Eric, I'm just letting you know, I could let you know offline. I've got to add you to the Keep It 100 group, and that way whenever we're going to do a show, if you're available, we'll come on board, okay?
Yeah, plug me in. Yeah, plug me in. I like this what y'all got going on.
Now, to Keep It 100 After Dark, we tackle some sensitive topics, mostly about relationships, sex, marriage, the whole 9.
Hold on, you know too much. Good night, folks.
We keep it kosher, but we do go in a little bit. So,
all right.
but thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. Till next time, you guys keep it 100.
All right. Yeah. See y'all later.
Hey,